The man picked up the anchor and tied the rope around his cousin's ankle. As long as he got rid of him, he'd inherit the family fortune. But just as he was about to act, a sudden cough came from behind. This was his first murder, and naturally, he was a little nervous. But what surprised Beck was how easy it was to kill. Wow, that was simple? The yacht had no surveillance, and as long as no one saw, this could all be passed off as an accident. But to inherit the fortune, Beck would have to eliminate the other 6 heirs ahead of him in line. Honestly, he got lucky the first time, but this time, he needed a plan. Beck set his sights on his uncle. His uncle was a rock star, and Beck had never met him before. Beck pretended to be a journalist, saying he wanted to do an exclusive interview. When his uncle wasn't paying attention, Beck secretly slipped something into his drink. However, his uncle seemed to notice something was off and suddenly pulled a samurai sword from the table, claiming he was going to shave Beck's beard. Beck broke into a cold sweat, doing his best to act clueless. If his uncle had figured out what he was planning, why didn't he call the cops? But seeing that his uncle wasn't joking, Beck had no choice but to come clean about who he was. His uncle was stunned for a moment. He had thought Beck was just another paparazzo from a news agency, not a relative. To break the awkwardness, his uncle grabbed the drink from the table. By then, how Beck had managed to convince his uncle he was a journalist didn't really matter anymore. A few minutes later, his uncle would die of a sudden heart attack. The next day, Beck's aunt installed a laser security system at the mansion. After hearing about the sudden deaths of several heirs, she started taking 24/7 precautions. But she had a habit. Every Tuesday, she went to the beauty salon for treatment. Beck only needed to disguise himself as a staff member and quietly make his move, ensuring she died without anyone noticing. He mixed in urea peroxide, which was very similar to the acid used in teeth whitening products, so much so that the police eventually believed it was a cheap fake product she bought when adopting in Cambodia. Beck's killing plan was going smoothly, and he felt confident. Just as he was planning his next move, a beautiful woman knocked on the door and threw an envelope at Beck. Inside the envelope was all the evidence of the family members she had killed. This woman was Beck's cousin. Her target was just as simple and clear as his.